is about to start. So we're playing the music that will play all throughout the stream. Trying not to fart. When will it go? When will it start? Starting soon. Alright, I think, once again, everything's ready to go. Except today we're going to try and break the stream on purpose. Is the music playing? Or is it just me? Do microphone, why do you seem so low? Microphone check. That seems a bit better. That seems a bit better. Alright, clear these things. Whatever this is, get out of here. Alright, this thing is working, right? Time? Working? Yes? No? Maybe so. Ripley! Yeah. Shut up for a second. So everything's ready to go? Everything's ready to go. Is it going to work this time? Are we going to have that issue? Or are we going to have that issue and then we're going to fix it and everything's going to be great? It's not up to me. It is fully up to you. You've got a whole room full of stuff and we're talking to you through this Oh, ripples. All right. I think let's just go. Let's just go. Let's see what happens. Meow, 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 meow. All right, those settings worked. Now what we're looking for today's weird and wonderful stream, I want to have frame droppage. That's what I'm looking for today. We're gonna work on some stuff. Just realized just how many comic strips I haven't finished, so I'm gonna go back and do cleanup on those, and eventually make another book because I've already got like 50-some pages. So might as well just jam out a few more in the next little while and have another book. But why I want my stream to break, what are you even talking about? That makes no sense whatsoever. All we do is spend like so much time messing with all the settings to get all the settings to work correctly, and then you're like, hey, you know what'll be fun? Let's Kim Kardashian this. Let's break this internet. Basically, yeah. So during my Streamlabs stream, I keep having frame drops, but Space Goonie 42 is subscribed. Now we can keep staying alive. So I'm putting my camera back on the screen, and then camera on this screen, and I should adjust the filters a little more. But hey, Space Goonie. But yeah, every time I do my Streamlabs stream with the same settings as near as I can tell, I've double checked and rechecked and triple checked again and again and again. And then I'll get into the stream for a few minutes, then people are like, hey, you're dropping frames. But I shouldn't be dropping frames. And then I'll come over here now, and now I want to drop frames. I want the frames to drop so that I can try what I think will fix the other stream, but I can't check that stream because I can't just go, hey guys, I'm just gonna randomly stream on the Streamlabs stream. But if this one works, then just nothing makes any sense. Nothing makes any sense then. I'm still not getting a notification that frames are dropping. I mean, literally, you're upset that frames are... frame drops keep falling on my head, and that's how we keep making all of our bread. And now instead, you wanna be dropping those frames like your name dropping framing, and then it's free. The program is free. I don't even know what you're talking about. Or where your eyes are. Where are you? Right about here? The Funk Soul Brother? So anyway, I don't know. I've got YouTube music playing. I've got the stream streaming. I've got Flash open. I feel like there's 1,000 reasons to drop some frames now, but it's not happening. How can I fix something if it's not broken? Yep, no notifications of frame dropping. Everything seems fine. Everything seems fine, which is kind of what I expected, but at the same time I'm like, just don't be fine, because if you're not fine, then I know that the problem is universal. And now I guess I'll just have to keep digging and digging through to figure out why the other one isn't doing it, and just, I don't know. But anyway, I'm just going to keep an eye as best I can on the little notification bell in the corner, and hope one of two things. Hope it starts dropping frames, and also hope that it doesn't drop frames, in which case then I'll just go crazy. And because I don't know what else. I don't know what else to make the same, because it's the same. It's the same. You're literally just staring at the little bell, waiting for it to say, hey, guess how many frames you've dropped in the last 2 minutes. And I mean, I could tell, Pat could tell, Space Goody could tell, and I mean, if any of the other people were here, if Avocado Shakes was here, she would definitely be able to tell that you're not in the game right now. You're just staring and waiting for things to break. That's all you're doing, and I can see your hand. I can see your hand behind me while I'm talking, and it's distracting. It's distracting, and it makes no sense at all. But there it is. There it is. You know, that's one big pile of shit, as Mr. Malcolm would say. Well, we're not going to drop frames if we're on you. I mean, technically we could, because it is the real camera behind you instead of a still image. I don't know. They are on the viewers end. I know I can't see them in the stream, but it does tell me there's a little bell at the bottom there. So as I start dropping frames, it starts saying, "Hey, you're dropping frames." So I turn the buffering off, because the buffering does fix it. Like on, I put it on Instagram, and I believe I put it on TikTok, which once again it's a horrible place. But I still put stuff there in the hopes that, maybe I'll get noticed somewhere. Maybe. But, you know, every week, there's still more notation, more notice to the things in my existence. You lost your train of thought because you looked at the little notification bell, didn't you? Didn't you? I did. But anyway, yeah, it will tell me at the bottom of the screen if frames are dropped. Oh yes, that's what I was saying. So last week, I did 2 weeks ago now, I was supposed to get surgery, and I was like, I'll do a giveaway stream before I do surgery, Ethan, and Ethan's like, sounds like a plan. And then we did a giveaway, and it was good fun, and I did this, you know, I just make up little rhymes all the way through, just constant talking. Oh, what's that like? What is that like? Because I have no idea what that like. If you're just constantly talking for 4 hours in a row, I wouldn't even know what that could be like at all. I couldn't even imagine. But also, if you have a sarcasm meter, please step away, because it will explode, because I am spewing some hot and tasty sarcasm right now. Alright, sarcasm machine, calm down. Me calm down? You're literally just full of too much energy right now. That's true, that is true. But anyway, I was skimming through that stream because somebody clipped one of the little raps that I was doing while I was drawing their art, and they were super happy. I drew this angry little pineapple that they described, and they were like, I didn't think anybody would draw this. This is just like the craziest idea I could have. And I was like, that's why I drew it. That's how I play the giveaway game. Intrigue me with something I want to draw and with words that I understand. So, while doing his drawing, I made a dumb little rhyme about how I don't know what guns look like, and when I play Fortnite, I don't recognize any of the guns other than that long one is probably going to be some sort of sniper rifle. Yay, it is! And then other times I play Rocket League, which is soccer with cars with rockets on them. So, I don't know. I'm not over here trying to study guns. So as I'm skimming through that particular stream, 4 hours long, from beginning to end. I think I even stopped it and started again, changed my bit rate. For this one, I specifically put my bit rate up, and still nothing. Whereas I'm just like, I don't know. Are we still seriously just going to talk about the stream on the stream, or are you going to stream something? That's a good question. I do enjoy this beat when it comes around. The do-do, do-do, do-do-do-do-do. That's it. This part. I like that piano part. So, anyway, as I scrubbed through that stream, the record of it later, so much of it was just frame dropping and just gross. As an animator, losing frames is painful. It's a painful thing. Pat knows what I'm talking about. This guy, Pat, knows what I'm talking about. If I still had the Pat camera set up, I'd look over to that camera, but that's this camera now. And then my main camera is my stop motion camera, as we've discussed 1,000 times before. So during the stream, I switched it to buffering, and which is a bit better because it's just like, hey, everything's fine. Then it will kind of stop and jump ahead for a minute and catch up. But I still find that jarring. It's just seeing it automatically flashes me back to trying to walk from my apartment to the bus stop or the ferry terminal, which were very close. It's like a 4-minute walk. Exactly, Pat. Exactly. Like when I used to watch, like when we used to put stuff on YouTube or on the internet, and how half the time it was just flame drop. It was a frame dropping firefight for your life as an artist and an animator, because you're like, I did all this animation, and then it's just like glitch, and then here's the end of the thing. Like, no, guys, I'm pretty good at what I do, in spite of the comments that I sometimes get. And I say that even though I've got like 5 comments on a video that are just like, I love this is great, I don't get it, but I want to see more, everything's great, push some more of these stop motions out the door, feed them to me, see more, I just want to see things move. Like a Skeletor. One more rhyme snuck in at the end. So yeah, it just reminds me of trying to walk with my Discman, and hold it in a way that doesn't make me look insane, but also doesn't skip, because the skip buffering never really worked, and you can kind of feel it coming, or you're just like, ooh, I took too big of a step there, I'm gonna lose my music for a minute. And James Acaster has an amazing bit about the Discman in convergence, in Congress with, but whatever, a story that connects both with, hey, is there a doctor on the plane, I think, and the CD thing. So look that up. It's hilarious and funny because it's true. It still says no frames dropping. None of you guys are complaining that any frames are dropping. So I guess I'm just crazy then. Hey, this is crazy. I just streamed here. And it's not. So I don't know. It's the same computer, it's the same software. Like, I don't know. But I'll figure something out. I assume the correct answer will just be turn off VPN while I'm streaming for them, because maybe it's going through a bunch of extra servers or something. I don't know. But that was my main plan for today, was just, all right, these are the settings. I think it works fine. And as soon as somebody says you're dropping frames, then I'll turn off the VPN. But I'm here pretty much full screen, higher quality video, higher bit rate than I did the other week. Circle back slightly. So anyway, the little video of me making up a little rhyme about guns and Fortniting, out of all of the whole videos, frame dropping, buffering, but that one little like 15-30 second little window of rhymitude, pristine and magical and perfect. So it's like, well, I don't know, I guess the internet knows. So if I start dropping some mad beats and dope rhymes, then perhaps that's when we'll have some drop frame times. But either way, maybe I turned my VPN off already and I didn't notice. No, it's still going. You are protected and safe. Ooh, but I am technically in a different province than I think I normally am in. Wait, what is this little... I don't know what this number means. I want that number to be high or low. Anyway, how long has this been? 16 minutes and it didn't break, so I guess it's not gonna break. So I'll just comb. I'll just have to comb through all of the settings and details until I can find what's different. We play a big, annoying game of spot the difference between the two things. Play it spot the difference every day. Gotta spot every different way that the thing is not the same as the other. And everybody's like, hey, is that your mother? And I'm like, I don't know. I was a cat, so I was bored, and that was that. Some lady picked me up and took me down the street, and then I gave fleas to everybody in that new place. Yeah, that sucked. That sucked. That is true. That is true. Hey, here's a new cat. Is my apartment infested with fleas now? It sure is. It sure is. Does my old cat hate this one? Yeah. Why? Because you never gave him a cartoon character? He's never been in anything? You've never given him a voice? Or put him anywhere in any way, shape, or form? Once I did. I wrote a script somewhere that was all about Milo and Ripley and some sort of adventure, and then some mysterious figure was like, I think, murdering everybody or something, at least causing some sort of havoc or trouble. And it was going to turn out to be Vertigo, and I'd be like, oh my god, it's Vertigo, which is really only a reveal to like me, because I'm the only person who knows who Vertigo is. But it was like, this is gonna be his in. He's gonna be the villain. So I'm not the villain? So am I the good guy? I mean, in that instance, yes, you were the star. I don't think I was in it. I think it was just about the cats doing their thing. And yeah, so in that instance, technically Ripley is still the best. Meow, meow, meow. You're welcome, sweetest angel. And yeah, there's a lesser of two evils. You were it. But I mean, Vertigo hated me. Vertigo hated me forever. He attacked and attacked and attacked, and it sucked. So, what if we go to the drawing screen? So, I thought I cleaned this up a long time ago. I even kind of thought I might have finished this one. But I've got a lot of comic strips that are still rough, a bunch more that just don't have any words to them yet. So, I'll have to go back and, well, I say this all the time, figure out what they were supposed to say or come up with something new. But first things first, might as well go for a soda. Hard to reference other songs when music is playing. It completely throws off any words that might have been in my head. Might as well go for soda. No one is. Might as well go for soda. Nobody's better. What? Better than slander. Ugh. I know I wrote a whole poem referencing that song. Anyway, let's just do some cleanup today. Let's do some cleanup drawing. Sometimes drawing isn't all about making new fun exciting things, sometimes it's just about finishing and fixing what you've already done. That's what I spent so much today doing. My good friend Matt. I didn't spend today doing it, actually. I finished it off today. I remembered I didn't finish it off, and I started it like a week ago. My friend Matt, not that Matt, a different Matt. There's a lot of Matts out there. He had some merchandise art for his streaming adventures. He was like, I don't have that hair anymore. I gotta find somebody who can replace my hair with a hat, because now I just wear hats instead of having hair. And I was like, I can do that up. Not quite realizing what the style was at the time, because it was like this cool like Photoshop painting type thing, and I'm like, I don't do cool Photoshop paintings. But it turned out fine. It turned out completely fine. Matt was very happy with it. And I quickly did another version where I took his mouth and I put that up on his head, along with the other mouth that was already there, just for the fun of it. Just for the fun of it. Hey, shouldn't you be like recuperating from surgery? Remember how you were supposed to have surgery and that's why you weren't doing streams? So explain that. Explain yourself. Yeah. So last Tuesday I was supposed to finally get my surgery. This is like the third time it was postponed. But this time I went to the hospital. And before I went, I called the day before. They were like, hey, yeah, get here. Get here at like 9:30 or whatever it was. 9:45 I think it was actually. I probably have it written here somewhere. I don't for some reason. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It didn't really happen. So get here at 9:45, then you wait 2 hours, and then it won't take long after that or whatever. Like, all right. I assumed the wait 2 hours meant you'll wait 2 hours, like after the waiting room. Like, this isn't, you're just gonna sit in a waiting room for 2 hours like a crazy person. You're gonna get here, we're gonna start prepping you, it's gonna like take 2 hours before we're ready to actually cut you open, sew you back up, and send you out in the world to cry for a week. Or at least be terrified that you'll have to do it again, because everybody's coming like, 5 to 6 weeks, and after that still don't move, still don't do anything, because you don't understand how many people are like, I feel great, and then now they need to get the surgery again, and now there's a bunch of stuff in there. Like, okay, don't worry, I'm terrified. I optimized my apartment for the most minimal amount of movement. Everything was within reach. Put any art stuff that I might use just under the coffee table. All of my charge cords within reach. Everything else, like, just set up either the bedroom or the couch, and I'm just like, I am primed to not move. Amazon primed to not move. But I also watched all the episodes of The Boys, so what else do I need Amazon Prime for except for cheap delivery of thousands of bootlegged items from Amazon, because they don't care. They don't care if it's real or stolen. Don't care if it's fake or bootlegged. Amazon will sell it. And I guess they'll refund if you're not happy. So whatever. I go to the hospital, and I sit there, and there's a bunch of people in the waiting room, and they all go in before me, like, okay, you were here before I got here. More people show up. They all go in before me, like, okay. And they came out, like, all right, you were doing something quick and easy, so fine. I'm still okay with this. And then, like, a third wave of people come. And I'm, like, just, kind of semi-talking to these really old people. One guy just, like, kind of joking around about stuff for whatever reason. And I'm just like, yeah, this is great. We're all having a great time. Some of us look like we are not going to survive sitting here, so everybody please feel free to go ahead of me. I'm super hungry, but you guys look like your skin is going to fall off, so yeah, go ahead. So during the third wave of people, they finally call my name, and it was 2 hours, so it was like, so you really meant come here and sit in the waiting room for 2 hours? Like, is that just to make sure I'm not going to eat something? Because there's nobody here to make sure I don't do anything for the next 2 hours. Nobody's looking at me. I could do anything right now. I could do anything. Anything you could do, I could do better. David Louise. But I'll talk about him later. And then I finally get in, and they're like, all right, put this gown on. Like, okay. I was like, this is happening. It's really happening. There's no turning back now. The gown is like huge. Like just super thick. And she's like, yep, we're doing this new thing now where we've discovered, we've done the science, and apparently warm patients are better patients. I'm just like, that sounds like it makes sense. Is that... Did you guys just not care about that before? Was that just a rule? Who cares? Who cares how freezing cold you are? Because that's weird. I don't know. We always grew up under the mandate of, stay warm, put on your winter jacket. Hey, you chilly? Put on a sweater. Here's a blanket. Everybody these days has about 100 throw blankets on every piece of furniture ready to go. That's the world I live in. I don't know. Maybe I'm just old. Maybe you're just old. Maybe you're just old. Maybe you're just old. Maybe I'm just bold. Maybe I'm just filling up with some mold. 'Cause time just passes. We get our saggy asses. It's not a blast. It's getting older, and then you have more experience. Getting super wiser, yo. Bunch of stuff you didn't used to know. This song sucks. This song sucks so bad. Yeah, I know. So, it's still like a regular, like just flimsy old gown, but it's like pretty much feels like, there's just some insulation that you put inside your walls in there. Like, all right, this is kind of puffy and weird and uncomfortable. But again, that's not what we're here for. This isn't a hotel adventure where it's just like, give me the comfiest blankets on the most comfiest mattress. There's no comfort here. You're going to cut me open, and I will not stop thinking about that until it's over, and then I will think about it for 5 days more. So, the night before, 3 to 4 nights before, I basically haven't slept. Just having weird anxiety dreams where I'm desperately trying to go to sleep, but you can't get to sleep, and I just end up in these situations where I'm just like in a room full of people, and it's either like, hey, you're at work now, but there's beds there if you need to get some sleep. Like, yeah, I don't know how I got here, I don't know what my job is, but I'm just gonna go to sleep because I don't know what's going on and I'm exhausted. And then you can't go to sleep because people are like doing a job around you, and then suddenly you're like, oh, actually, I know what to do here. Now I'm gonna go to sleep. And then you wake up in the morning after trying to sleep, and sometimes it's like, hey, you gotta move. You gotta pack up everything you own, and it's time to move. You remember, like, oh yeah, I forgot. I was gonna get some sleep, but I have to move everything that I own. Dreams ruin my life. So for several days, why does this brush feel too big? Could be right. And yeah, so I'm just exhausted, but I'm like, all right, this is great. This isn't like one of those things where I'm like, I gotta go do a thing, so I've got to drive there, or I've got to do a presentation, so I should have some energy and not be exhausted from anxiety sleep or anxiety dreams. this is one of the few times where it's like when it is time to do the thing, we're literally going to medicinally put you to sleep. We're going to knock you out, and then you'll wake up several hours later and be like, "Whoa! I can't believe you guys cut me open while I was asleep." So I'm exhausted. I'm not cranky. I'm just existing. So anyway, she's like, not only are we putting you in this insulated hospital gown, there's a little hole on the side that looks like a vacuum bag attachment from the old days, maybe current days, I don't know anymore. Mine doesn't have a bag, it has a big drum that you just dump out. Vacuum cleaner, that is. So it's got like a little cardboardy thing where clearly it looks like a pipe is gonna go into. And then Cheryl, super nice lady, she brings over at a certain point this little like space heater thing on like a, like an IV looking space heater with a big hose. And she's like, I'm just gonna show you how this thing works over here. We'll just attach this hose and you can adjust that heat up and down if you want to. Like, I'm not cold at all. Like, this is like, I'm genuinely comfortable and fine. Like, I don't need any of this. This feels like unnecessary luxury at this point. But it's just like, again, like we've just found, if everybody's nice and warm, they'll heal faster and all this stuff. Like, all right, I'm down with this. Plugged it in. It felt fine. So we're in the midst of that. She's about to explain to me that she's about to explain the anesthesiologist. That is right. The anesthesiologist is going to put a needle in me and whatnot, and I'm just like, oh, I didn't even realize this was going to be needle based. So now I have to panic about that a little bit, even though it should be fine. Just assumed it was going to be gas, but whatever. I guess I got it stabbed and get cut. That's the mean streets of the hospital. But yeah, so while we're in that area, another super nice lady comes over and she's like, "Hey, Cheryl, like, sorry, ooh, we're gonna have to send Curtis home." And it was in that way where it's just like, when two teachers are talking about you, but you are, I don't know, 7 inches away from them. Like, I can touch both of you without straining. Like, I'm right here, lady. Cheryl already did all this work. Me and Cheryl are best friends now. But she said it really nice, but also I just automatically, "Hey, Miles!" I automatically just thought, like, what did I do? What did I do wrong? Like, there's nothing I could have done. I've just been sitting in a chair. My COVID test is sitting there waiting to whatever ding or light up in either the you have COVID or you don't have COVID lights. And she's like, "Yeah, no, like a bunch of emergencies just came in, so we gotta send you home because that's more important." I'm like, "Oh my god, no problem at all." They're like, "Well, of course, you probably want to go eat anyway." Like, I would love to go eat. I'm so hungry. But I'd rather just get it done with. But I love nothing more than going home. From the hospital. Doesn't matter where I am. Doesn't matter what's happening, when it is, why it is. I love heading back home. Even better when I'm home. When I put the chain on the door, all is right with the world again. Cause the out of doors is scary. But yeah, she's just like, "Yeah, gotta send you home." Like, and part of me is like, yeah, that makes sense. I feel like I've heard 1,000 ambulances in the past, 2 hours. So somebody's got to go sewing those arms back on. I picture a lot of like scaffolding and circular saw accidents and/or heart attacks. So I'm just like, no problem at all. Like, thank you guys so much. You were so nice. Like, at least it was like I won't be as afraid next time because this part wasn't bad. I'm still not quite sure why I had to sit out there for 2 hours. But whatever. You know, I spent a good chunk of the day at the hospital just to get a COVID test. Just to get a COVID test. And then a few people are like, "Oh my God, you must be so mad." And I'm like, "Yeah, no, like I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted by the whole thing. I don't have the energy to get mad, but I would like to think I have to believe I'm either going to get angry and sad, or I can just feel a little bit put out and feel like, you know what? I assume that one, if not several lives might have been saved today because I didn't put up a stink. I didn't ruin anybody's day. I didn't put the people there in a bad mood by going, this is unbelievable. Oh, this is so unacceptable or whatever. Which is the style of the times. I've seen that a bunch, like just in the last 2 weeks alone, where like, oh my God, everybody stop freaking out at people that are just, you know, serving you something. Like, oh, the dev machine went down again. Like, how dare, like, it happens, guy. What do you do for a living that nothing ever goes wrong and you just feel like the king of town from 8 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock at night? So much so that, oh, when I stop to get a bun of bread and the dev machine goes down, I guess I will yell at everybody on my way out and basically just say, whoa, what was the point of even anything? What's the point of any of you? Like, I was gonna offer to pay for your bread, guy, but you were too busy being mean and angry, so I couldn't step in and try to be helpful, which I wanted to do, but also you made me too afraid to be helpful, so there you go. When you're a good, especially if you had been like, oh my God, that's okay, and I would have been like, oh my God, like I actually have some cash on me for once. Here you go. Here you go. I always say the king of town. And of course, as it escapes my mouth, I immediately think of Homestar's King of Town, who I do love and think is amazing. But I think my original reference for the King of Town was from The Simpsons. But I think I'm paraphrasing something else. But I think what I'm actually trying to remember is, oh, look at him over there, walking around like he's cock of the walk. Well, he's cock of nothing, I tell you that. I think I'm confusing that one, but I feel like there was one where she's like, oh, this guy walking around like he's the king of town. But I think that is just a Homestar thing as well. But it just fits. It just fits when you see somebody that are just like, oh, you think you're the king of Kensington over here. Old-time references no one knows. Of course, Miles does, cause he watches old shows. And King of Kensington is one. Don't remember watching it. Maybe an episode it wasn't super legit. So yeah, so I definitely don't want a bunch of people that are here understaffed, trying their best to basically to help people. Like, nobody there seemed malicious. Everybody seemed like they were just doing their best medically professional job, and I just wanted to be a good person, because it's like I am gonna have to come back here and do this again. I don't want these people to, oh, here he comes again, and them to hate me because I hated them, just because, you know, there's only like 3 doctors or whatever. And one of them is semi-retired, so I mean, I saw him wandering around like, hey, you're semi-retired guy. You're not even supposed to be here today. Oh, go home and watch some Clerks 3. So yeah, now I'm back to sitting on the edge of my seat every morning, waiting for a phone to ring so I can go, hello! Are you a robot, or are you a telemarketer, or are you here to give me yet another appointment to get this surgery so I can finally relax for a minute and not, you know, I mean, I'll still have to be afraid of going for a walk that'll tear myself apart, but right now, I'm just in the limbo that is, if I go for a walk, it might start hurting and it might not. And I just never, ever, ever, ever take my hernia harness thing off. And I hate it. I feel like I'm just wearing a diaper all the time. And I just don't feel comfortable. I just don't feel comfortable in my own anything, in my own skin, in my own pants, in any way, shape, or form. But sooner or later, it'll get done, and I'll get back to having streaming fun. Still not dropping frames. I mean, if anything, the settings on this stream are more frame intensive than they are on the Streamlabs one. So, who knows? Who knows? I'll figure something out. Can I ask Trevor? No. Trevor's leaving. Trevor's leaving. Hey, Trevor, you're the one who helped me with stuff, and you're super smart at this. Yep, well, I'm not working here anymore. I'm leaving. Oh, good. Fine. Fine, Trevor. Fine. I'm not really mad. I'm not really mad. But part of me is like, ooh, I should ask Trevor. But you know, he's busy getting ready to exit. Get another job. Now, keep playing. Ah, yes. So, I mean, I posted this in my Instagram stories. But, you know, there's a little bell on my YouTube channel, or just on my YouTube in general. It's like, ding, something happened, eh? And it's not like, don't read the comments, because I don't get like hundreds and thousands of comments. I get like one every once in a while, so of course I'm going to read it. Of course I'm going to read it. Who wouldn't read it? I mean, of course, why would you not read a comment if there was a comment to be read? Other than, you know, the fact that most of the time, comments are just harsh, or nonsensical or crazy. But aside from those reasons to not read the comments, of course you're going to read the comments. Hey bros, somebody said something about comments? Are there comments that I can listen to? I mean, read? Guys, send me some of those sweet comments. You won't like it, Ted. You won't like it. But I like everything, you guys. No, not this. So, I had to forget what his name is. Click here. David Lopez Louise. His comment on my Skeletor talking to Shredder stop motion was, "You can do better." Yeah, possibly, I guess. But really, that was one of the ones where I'm like, this is like, they're getting better each time. I'm pretty impressed with how good this one came out. I specifically mentioned that on a stream that, wow, I might be getting really great at this. Or at least, I was pretty happy with this one. So of course I wrote back. I replied to the comment. I very rarely do, but I replied to the comment, yep, and so can you. And his response to that was, yep, you bet your ass. So even worse, even worse-ish is, and honestly, I don't know. It's kind of the way that I read it wasn't even, you can do better, I'm a jerk. I think he genuinely meant it like, hey, like, keep it up, like, you can do even better than that, like, keep doing it and you can get better. And it's just like, I am not a small child, guy. I'm already an old man. I'm already an adult, grown up. This is like 20 years of experience in the industry of animation that you're looking at. Stop encouraging me. Stop encouraging me to. Somebody will get there. Like, whatever, David. Whatever. She said, did you see the Spider-Man one? Did you see the Spider-Man animation that I did? Cause that one's pristine. That was the most. That one's the best one for sure. This little Spider-Man guy just moves super nice. He's got so many parts and stuff that are just like perfect for stop motioning. But like I always say all of the time, you shouldn't. I will. I'll do it so you don't have to. But you shouldn't let random comments where people are like, hey, you could do better, or hey, you're stupid, and I hate your content. Don't let those people get you down, because most of the time, it's just like in the case of David, if you go and see, well, what kind of content do you make? Because clearly you're you think you're some sort of authority. You think you're the king of YouTube town over here. So if you're encouraging me that I can get better, then maybe you know something. Maybe you know something and you can see potential in me, and I can appreciate that. And then you go to their page, their channel, if you will, and they have zero content. They have zero content. They have nothing. And it's just like, well, then why? Why are you doing this? I usually avoid commenting on anybody's like even animation or anything, even though I'm just like, I'm an authority on this kind of thing. Technically, this was my job, was to judge people, and you know, I didn't like it, but I do have some, you know, a modicum of expertise in certain instances, but I know better. I've grown, like I mentioned whatever that rhyme was earlier. Now I'm wiser, and I'm not going to waste my energy on just being a jerk for the fun of it, or whatever. Because there is, you know, another handful of people that are just like, this is great, and I love it. Like, oh, good. I should pander to you guys. I should, you know, soak up those rays of sunshine instead of the laser eyes of hate monsters who don't even make things. I was gonna change topics, but I also have a good segue for the thing that I just said. Segue from the sentence that was like 5 minutes ago. Yes, but I'm gonna say, speaking of making things, for the past about a week or more, I've just been messing around. I've started over a few times, and semi-starting over again, but not completely starting over. But finally took one of my armatures and started making it into a character. I had a vague idea of what I wanted to do, so I went to the store and was looking around, seeing like there's got to be a doll that's close enough to the proportions to the stop motion armature that I have, that I can at least modify to fit right. and there we go, because I'm not making clothes. I'm not making clothes. Now maybe what I should do is throw some money at NAUS Miniatures, NAUS Miniatures, that lives, like, I don't know, I think down the road from me. My friend Susan that I see sometimes at Michael's, she makes amazing miniature things and like knits with tiny little, I don't know, like little tiny threads, and then knits little like sweaters and stuff. I was like, I could get her to just make some clothes, or I could try and do it myself. But then there were these just crazy dolls that were like, other than their heads were gigantic, but their body proportions were like, I think this is the same size. I should have measured this before I left, but I didn't. So I'm just gonna eyeball it, and I'm gonna spend like $40 on a doll to get all of his clothes. But it came with a bunch of clothes. Speaking of Nasus Miniatures, Nasus? Don't know how to pronounce that. But she's watching right now, so there you go. Go follow Nasus Miniatures on Instagram and whatnot. She just made a batch of delicious looking tiny pies. So I got this doll that came with like 2 sets of pants, 2 like jackets, 2 shirts, 2 pairs of sneakers, and a pair of socks. But I replaced the sneakers with some of these like kind of Converse-y sneakers that I had before. What if I go to the big camera? So he's got like these little sneakers on, these zipper pants. I'm gonna focus on him. He's kind of too much of a white color. He's got this little jacket, a little hood that I'll throw a magnet in so it doesn't bounce around. And I made this little skull. There's like some wire, and then painted the inside of his mouth and jaw. I've got a thing. And then I can like move his, rotate his eyes around. And everything moves. Yay! Hello. And as far as the hands, they're still wire, because my plan was to wrap his head and hands in this stuff called Sugru, S-U-G-R-U, that I tested before with the piranha plant, with some wire in there, and it worked. So I wrapped his face in this skin, thinking, oh, this is gonna be great. I'm gonna be open his mouth, and it will still move. And then it filled in all of the gaps. So now his mouth doesn't even move, and around his neck was too tight, and it just kind of tore right away. Where I'm like, oh, so that didn't work at all. I now see why and how it didn't work. So I believe it should still work for his hands. So I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna keep this skull head, and probably use it for some sort of, as a skull head at some point, and just leave it the way it is. And I've got a bunch of sketches on my coffee table. Not a sketchbook that's on the coffee table. I don't draw on my coffee table. Nobody thought that you were drawing on your coffee table. Not one person in the whole entire world ever thought you were just drawing directly on your coffee table. You don't know. So I think I do know. I think I am 100% sure nobody thinks that you're carving drawing into your coffee table. But the possibility is there. So you gotta cover all of your bases. Have you not seen the internet? So yeah, I've got some sketches. I'm gonna go with more of a robotic head, that I don't have to worry about skinning, and it will just keep it similar to this mechanic, but yeah, without trying to make it organic, because I'm not good at things. Oh, you know what I should do? It wouldn't make it less creepy. It wouldn't make it less creepy, Nasus. But yeah, if I got Nasus to knit to make like a little ski mask where just barely his mouth protrudes through and his eyes poke out, and then it could be just like, hey, it's me, Johnny Ski Mask. But yeah, he's horrifying. He's horrifying on 1,000 levels. So the robot version will hopefully be a little more adorable. surprisingly enough, was also going for adorable with this. With the skin over him, it did actually look kind of adorable, but again, that stuff is... you've got 30 minutes to work with it, and then it just gets more sticky and gluey, and you're like, oops, I messed up the mouth. I'll just slightly adjust that. It all stuck to itself. It's ruined. It's ruined. It's ruined. Yeah, now I'm spending so much of my Saturday hating myself and thinking I'm terrible at everything. Instead of just going, stop, collaborate, listen. Ice is back with a brand new invention. Something grabs a hold of you tightly. Will it ever stop? Yo, I don't know. I lost the trail, but that's how it goes. So anyway, exactly. A miniature balaclava, so you can eat your baklava. So anyway, my original idea was something roboty anyway, but then I was like, oh well, I just ordered all of this Suguru stuff. I might as well give it a try, and I both didn't have enough and used too much at the same time. Lessons learned. Lessons learned. So, the new version, whenever that happens, will be quite a bit more simpler. Maybe it'll be more involved. I don't know. I don't know. Once I start doing these things, they go off in their own directions, because, again, I'm always making it up. At first, his body was covered in clay. Then I'm like, this is insane. This is going to take days to dry, and it's not actually the kind of clay that I thought it was. So I tore that off before it had a chance to dry, and then went with the, why don't I just cover him with tinfoil and tape? What is stopping me from covering him with tinfoil and tape? It will work, and I have both of those things. I've got fabric tape. That's probably why I bought it in the first place. I mean, I wasn't trying to stop you. I don't think anybody was trying to stop you at all. Ripley? Ripley, were you trying to stop? What do you mean you didn't even know? That's all I've been doing for days. For days. I wasn't just playing with dolls. I was making my own dolls. Yeah, that's a lot better. That's so much better. That's not weird at all. You're not the weirdest guy in Weird Town. I mean, if it's Weird Town, then being the weirdest guy is virtually impossible. I mean, even if you're the lowest, you're still, everybody's weird in Weird Town, right? Right? I mean, if you want to justify it that way, but we all know there's no such thing as Weird Town. So you're just the king of Weird Town, weird around in your Weirdmobile, and everyone's looking at you like, hey, check it out. There you go, it's being weird again. So, anyway, I spent a lot of time doing that, having some ideas of stop motions I should do, not writing them down, and instead going, well, if I'm going to do something, if I'm going to draw, if I'm going to do anything creative, I should work on this thing that's sitting on my coffee table, accumulating more parts and paints and magnets and wire, just a bunch of stuff. So I finally gave up. And by gave up, I meant finally realized sometimes the way through is not always by pushing through. Sometimes you take a step back and you go around and there's an alternate route. So the alternate route in this case is do a robot, or do it again with the skin, but just do it different this time. And then you will win. And even though I'm like, it took all weekend, it took hours, most of those hours are me sitting there going, not gonna work. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. No, it's probably gonna work. It's gonna be fine, right? What if I just do it? I'll just do it. What if I just do it? I'll just jam the wire in here. I'll just make this clay. I'll just do this, and everything's gonna be fine. But it probably won't. I should probably watch 5 more TV shows and/or YouTubes. And then next thing you know, it's 11:30 at night, and it's time to go to sleep. But, speaking of, what I said. I've optimized the living room for laying around for a week, for just recuperation time. I won't have to move, don't have to move. But I know there's a good chunk of things on the Disney Plus that I want to watch, and I literally just don't watch anything on Netflix. I signed back up to watch He-Man, and something else. There was some other show that I had a reason for, and then it was like, hey, you have to update your payment information. It's us, Netflix. And I'm like, nah. They're like, would you like to watch anyway? Like, yeah, okay. And then the only time I really watched Netflix was the day that it was like, hey, you gotta pay for this. And I'm like, I'm gonna watch it for free today. Even though it's already paid for, I understand how things work. So I figured for this recuperation time, I'm gonna jump over to Disney Plus. I'll finally watch WandaVision, Doctor Strange in the Manhattan of Madness, the Mind of Madness, the Multiverse of Madness. There we go. I gotta watch those. And then since I'm laying around, I'll probably watch Shang-Chi finally, and the Eternals. Didn't watch any of those. But, and then I guess some Star Wars stuff or whatever. I'll at least watch The Mandalorian maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just gonna be laying there, so why not? And I finally, I load up Disney Plus on my TV, and within 20 minutes, I'm like, You know how, Netflix, you always see posts where Netflix is like, hey, stop sharing your passwords. Hey, where's everybody leaving? Hey, come on, Netflix is great. Netflix is dropping all of their TV shows. They're not giving money to anybody except for Squid Games. Anymore. Okay, whatever. And then you load up Disney Plus and you're like, oh, hey, Netflix, I don't know if you guys checked out Disney Plus, but the reason nobody's Netflixing anymore is because it's all over here. All the best stuff that you used to have, it's here now. And all of the other stuff I never expected in 1,000 years was going to be on the Disney Channel. It's all there. I watched Predators the other day. Adrian Brody's Predators. Topher Grace's Predators, where they're dropped onto some sort of planet where predators hunt them. It's not a great movie, but I still enjoy it. I don't know what I expected. I've seen it before. I might have seen it more than once, but I'm like, Predators is on the Disney Channel? Because, the Disney Channel I grew up with was the most child, just 3-year-old friendly garbage of just garbage. And then on Sunday, we would have the Disney Sunday Afternoon, which was the greatest thing. That was, between the Disney Sunday Afternoon and Batman the Animated Series and Freakazoid, that was it. That was if I could just get my teeth into these every week, then I will be happy. Someday I'll be happy. But only on the Disney Channel for a little while before I moved away, those magic boxes that we used to get where you would plug your cable through it and it would descramble things until they stopped working. Anyway, I watched Predators just for the novelty that I'm watching on a Disney platform, and also, there's a new Predator is coming to the Disney Plus channel in a few weeks, so why not watch a Predator movie? I don't think I hated it, did I? And it's definitely 1,000 times better than The Predator, which was the new Predator, right? Which had more than one Predator, so calling it The Predator was stupid, and all of the characters in it were the worst, dumbest, and the story was awful, and everything was terrible. And I've definitely watched that twice. So, With Disney Plus loaded up, it was finally time. It was finally time. Oh, for the love of fun, you're not going to do this again. Because sometimes, no, not today. Not today. It's Tuesday. I mean, oh, it's been a long day. Just finished. You've taken forever just to clean 3 panels. I mean, nobody takes that long to clean 3 panels. If Jeff could see you now, you would be fired by Wednesday. Sometimes, some crimes, they go slipping through the cracks. But these two, gum shoes, well, they're picking up the slack. There's no case too big. There's no case too small. If you need help, just call Chip and Dale, Rescue Rangers. When there's danger. And then there's some other words. I can't remember. I'm sure they're quite absurd. Chip and Dale, Rescue Rangers is the best theme song. So I finally, literally, it took me a week. It took me a week because I'm like, I can't. If this is awful, if this is painful to watch, I'm not in the mood for something painful to watch, but also if it's good, then I'm gonna cry as well. I mean, I'm not gonna cry if it's bad, I'm just gonna be like, this sucks, but if it's good, it's definitely gonna have at least 1 to 2 to 3 moments of just like, they're doing it, it's happening, oh my god, the little heroes. And, the first few minutes of it, I finally was like, let's just watch it. It was like 8 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday or Saturday, whichever day comes in the past. And the first few minutes, I'm not gonna lie, the first 2 minutes, I'm just like, prove it. Come on. Yeah, John Mulaney, you're the funniest thing in the world. Yeah, Andy Samberg, you're super hilarious. Yeah, all the guys from Lonely Island who produce and direct and write on this with everybody. Yeah, you're all geniuses, and you got access to all the best people in the world. Let's see what you can come up with. And I was mostly worried that it was just going to be a kids movie, whereas set in hey, it's like a gritty, we're the adult versions of these characters in LA, and these were just characters, whatever. And I was, my bar was very, very low. And man, oh man, did those chipmunks leap way over that bar. I loved it. The first few minutes though, I was just like, this is very distracting. Oh my god, this is why I don't have the urge to watch Space Jam. Just because it's just you guys jammed everything that you own. You took every IP and you squeezed it into here, and I'm not gonna pay attention to your movie. I'm only gonna be looking at the background. So the first few minutes, it's very, very Roger Rabbit. But in the Roger Rabbitness of it is, ooh, this is very Roger Rabbit. And then Roger Rabbit pops up and you're like, yeah, Roger, you dance. You dance with those chipmunks. Yeah, Roger, that's what you're here for. And it was just, all the references were good, and so many just animation things. Like Pat, seriously, you're definitely gonna get a lot out of it, animation-wise, if you watch it, because there's a stop-motion guy. J.K. Simmons does a voice, so check. Hey, is it a good movie? J.K. Simmons is in it. Check. Good movie then. Good movie. He makes everything amazing just by existing there. So there's a stop motion guy. His frame rate is different from everybody else's. There's 2D animated characters. Some of them are just straight up Disney style animation that looks real good, and some of them are just badly animated. And I'm not sure if that's on purpose or if it's just those feet are sliding. Those feet are wicked sliding. I don't know if you're doing that as an homage to some of the feet sliding in a Roger Rabbit or in just cartoons, or if you're just, we put 1,000 characters in this and it's just for Disney Plus. So I don't know, but overall they cover everything. They cover all the different kinds of animations. They talk about them metally, not metallically, but stupid Zuckerberg ruining the word meta, but in a very meta way. And yeah, and it's like, I know that like Space Goonie like the reason she didn't watch it is the same reason I haven't or didn't watch it, because I'm just like, I can't ruin it. I can't ruin it for myself. But once you get into it, like I will spoil the first second of it where it's like, hey, let me start this story back when we were small children. Let's stop doing that with everybody. I don't care. We already saw them as grown-ups in the Rescue Rangers, and now this is after that. You don't need to go way back before that. But Bush, sweet damn it on cake, it fit. It fit, and it made it work at the end. And stupid. But they could have done that. It still would have worked if they just said, "Hey, remember when we were kids? Yeah, and I said that thing. Yeah, well, Curtis cry now." Like, okay. But yeah, I do. I hate it when children are the focus. You're a monster. I'm frozen again, but you're a monster. No frames have dropped. It's been an hour and 11 minutes, and no frames have dropped. You're a monster. You gotta stop. You gotta stop saying this stuff. I mean, I don't hate children. They're wonderful, magical beings in the world or whatever who become people and stuff, and that's amazing. But most of the time, in order to enjoy a movie, I don't need to see a young Darth Vader. I know that young Batman witnessed his parents getting murdered. You can just mention it now. We can stop with the pearls. I still haven't seen the new Batman yet. Still haven't watched that one. But I assume some pearls hit the ground. Little Brucey starts to frown. Commissioner Gordon says, "Hey, gonna have to go downtown. Take you up and live in your mansion with your butler. It's not gonna be a expansion to what you're used to. It's basically the same, except you're gonna use your money. Dig a big cave. Or a Matrix rave. Oh no. Get a giant penny and a dinosaur that you don't even ride, but your cave is where you will hide. Batman, decide. Gonna learn karate and buy some smoke bombs. Excuse me, I don't think you're allowed to just use my IP like that. That's my story. And it's also the pearls, they symbolize like the tears. It's a lot of symbolism. If you don't get the symbolism, then just stay on your own lane. You draw the things about the cats, and I'll fight all of the crime. Calm down, Batman. I'm just talking about movies. And do we even in the 70s Batman, did they even talk about? I don't think they even mentioned that once. Do they? I watched a lot of those. And I don't think they ever really brought up why Batman lives with a butler and a maid, whatever her name used to be. Drake and Space Goonie were here. Nope. Drake and Avocado Shakes were here. They, Drake especially would be a fountain of 70s Batman knowledge. But yeah, I don't want to spoil anything. So many great voices in it that I'm sure got paid $1 billion, while the animators did not get paid as much, because that's how things work. Like people who mine for diamonds, they don't get paid as much as diamonds are worth, but then the people who sell the diamonds, they make all the money. But the animators are diamond miners. We're mining diamonds of illusions of life, which is, weaving together some vaguely distant reminiscences of the Disney Illusion of Life animation book, and of course, the diamond digging that is the Seven Dwarfs. Dwarves. With a V. Dwarfs with an F? Mandela Effect with an M? Oh, man. So yeah. Yeah. Good stuff. Very surprised. Very surprised that there's no swearing or anything, but very surprised at some of the directions that they go in, the jokes that they do make and references are like, wow, you did it. And okay, my biggest spoiler or reveal is that my new favorite character, a long time ago, I jokingly was like, hey, you know what I want to see? I want to see the teeth Sonic cut, the disgusting, ugly Sonic cut, like the Snyder cut, except I want to see the Sonic the Hedgehog, what that movie looked like, in its awful version. Because, you know, again, Ben Schwartz, I love him more than anything, and his Sonic voice is so good, and that movie, it was great. It was great stuff. Again, it was just Quicksilver. It was, you take all the Quicksilver scenes from the X-Men movies, and you stretch those out and reuse those for a whole movie, and that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted of those Quicksilver scenes. I want to see them again, except with an adorable hedgehog. Anyway, one of my favorite characters, he's not in it much at all. Most of the other characters are not in it much at all, but Ugly Sonic is in the movie, and he's awesome. I didn't look to see who did the voice. He doesn't sound like Sonic. He's great. He's great. He's just great. Oh, he's so great. And that's all I'll say. That's all I'll say. There's a bunch of moments that I'd love to be like, yeah, in this moment, ooh, and then when that moment, but I do not want to ruin it for Space Goonies, so when you do see it, whether you like it or not, at least those moments, even though, you know, they're expected, you're like, oh, of course this has to happen. But somewhere in your head you're like, but will it though? But will it though? Does that voice actor even still exist? Do they care about those characters? And yeah. And as I feared on a early Sunday morning, just sitting there on my couch, like, this is why I don't watch movies with people, because if they're good, I just end up like, and it's not even like nothing sad. It's always those moments when it's just like the underdog or just the hero, where it's just like, he's doing that thing, and I just instantly, my brain goes right back to that moment of being in the theater watching the Iron Giant and just uncontrollably just crying when I literally like if I wanted to be an actor who does a crying scene, I can 100% do it. All I have to do is just think the word Superman in his stupid Vin Diesel robot voice that he probably got all the money for, to say just a few words. But that point when he's just like, you can be whoever you want, I am Superman, and then kills himself. Spoiler alert for the Iron Giant that's 20 years old. But that, just thinking about that scene makes me cry every time. Legitimately trying not to right now. You are unbelievable and unacceptable on top of that. You're out of your mind and you're crazy. Just finish drawing these pictures and then we'll go eat that other cookie that's there. Another cookie. Because I went to Subway. Today's Subway story is twofold. One, go to Subway, they got a new thing. It's a sauce, I guess, that you don't have to bring. It's green, and it's called the Green Goddess. There's a bunch of sandwiches called Green Goddess Veggie, Green Goddess Chicken. Doesn't look very finger-licking. Lady in front of me, she says, I'll get the Green Goddess. I'm like, oh my god, what's happening here? Should I take a picture and Photoshop some He-Mans in there? I don't have enough rhymes today. But the Green Goddess is a He-Man character. It's an old version of Teela that was like just a green version of Teela, but then they released them both and there's like a Green Goddess Tila, and then there's regular Tila, but it's just called the Green Goddess. I may have ordered it from the toy store with a handful of other He-Man figures. It was my birthday. So I bought myself whatever He-Man figures were available on the internet, and still at the normal low price, not exorbitant bootlegger prices. Not bootleggers, scalper prices, reseller prices. I can't think of the term. Toy flippers? Flipping? Anyway, I'm pretty sure the Green Goddess was one that I ordered because I don't have a Tila. That's the closest thing. Stinkor. I forget the other two, but I ordered 4. Stinkor, Green Goddess. I think Jitsu with his big golden hand. I just can't remember. There was a bunch that were coming out and pre-ordering. I'm like, I don't want to pre-order anything. I already have too many. But it was my birthday and I wanted to buy things. But anyway, yeah, I just thought it's weird. I keep wanting to take a picture of the sign that says Green Goddess chicken sandwich, and then just get a picture of the Green Goddess from He-Man and just slap it on there. I'm just like, but why? But why? What does that do for anybody? Nobody. It's a slight little reference for some Masters of the Universe nerds. If I posted it on Twitter to be like, hey, that is weird. But who cares? Who cares? Waste of time. So I didn't. What other food-based stories? I made notes. I actually made a few notes before I started the stream this time, because I always forget everything. Chip, 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 and Dale. Rescue Rangers. Oh, and then I finally watched Free Guy as well, even though... No, that wasn't on Netflix. That's the Adam Project. I started to watch that, and I was instantly not interested. Because it basically starts with a little kid, because you're watching like the little kid version of Ryan Reynolds, and a little kid is just doing his best Ryan Reynolds impression, and even though it's a very good impression of Ryan Reynolds, it's still quite annoying to watch a little kid pretend to be Ryan Reynolds. It is annoying to watch a little kid pretend to be Ryan Reynolds. So yeah, no time travel movie for me. But Free Guy, oh wow, that was 1,000 times better than I expected, for sure. So much fun. Out of all of the people who can just afford and have access to doing whatever they want, you know, in like this Chip and Dale type of universe where it's like, yep, John Mulaney and whoever the writers, actual writers of the movie were. Sorry, I didn't take time to memorize who they were. But towards the end of Free Guy, I was like, oh my god, if anybody, you know what? If anybody deserves to be just a rich person with access to all of the IP, I'm glad it's Ryan Reynolds. Like, Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool, and Ryan Reynolds and Free Guy, and most of the things that he does, I'm just... He purely... clearly does it because he just wants to make things, and he's also rich and has access to all the things, so why not? So like again, not to spoil it for anybody else, there's only 6 of you here, but it's been all over the internet. It's been out for quite a while. I'm the last one to see it, but I can't remember his real name now, but the Captain America sequence where Captain America is like watching on his phone and he's just like, what is it? And I'm like, that was great. Yes. The Mega Man Mega Buster for an arm. Yes. It was a split second, and I was still just like, yep, we did it. We did it, guys. Something awesome happened. Everybody gather around the TV. We did it. Good times. Good times. Yeah, from beginning to end, it was great. Taika Waititi? Taika Waititi. Hi. Damn it. But that guy, his character, so good. Everybody's character, everybody did a great job. Is the main programmer guy, is he Steve? Is he from Stranger Things? I think he was one of the people that I liked from Stranger Things. And he was great in it. All the characters, once again, all the references, all the stuff. It was great. It was so good. And then I decided to get caught up on a handful of Simpsons episodes, which I haven't watched in a long, long time. And in one of the Simpsons episodes that I watched, very soon after Free Guy, there is an episode. Kujin, how's it going? There is an episode where they're showing ads, or they're showing references to, hey, all of these celebrities have their celebrity booze that they sell, and they had a drawing of Ryan Reynolds and his Aviator gin, I think, or vodka, whatever he sells. And I was like, huh, that's pretty crazy. And then within that same episode, I already forget what it was, but they used like the exact same joke that was in Free Guy, or an exact same joke that was in Free Guy. I'm like, huh. I mean, it's something, whatever it was still one of those things, like a joke anybody would make in whatever the situation was, like whether it was in Free Guy or whatever first, the same everywhere. Doing pretty good, just cleaning up some drawings today and telling stories. Mostly I was trying to break my stream, but it didn't break, so I don't know. That worked out good. But yeah, anyway, top to bottom, it was great. And Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is quite Sam Raimi-ish. There's a good chunk of scenes that are just like, this is so Sam Raimi. Again, that way that Sam Raimi likes to swing the camera around, that makes a movie look real cheap and student filmy. There's a bunch of those in there that are both annoying and still endearing. They're still fun. They still fit. They just have that thing where it's just like, why do you love doing this, Sam Raimi? And because you like making things, and this is one of your things that you do, so keep doing it. But from beginning to end, it was a comic book movie. Like, it was all comic book movie all the time. And by that I mean that, like, even in Far From Home, Spider-Man's Far From Home, and the other one, No Way Home, all of those, even though I love them, there's still a lot of times where it's just like, hey, we're just in school. Hey, we're just having conversations about stuff for no reason. We're just filling up movie time with non-comic book stuff, with non-superhero things. But in the Multiverse of Madness, from scene 1 right to the end, it's all comic book stuff. Like, even when it's slow, it's still the kind of discussion, it's still the kind of dialogue, it's still the kind of situation that would play out in a comic book. It doesn't do that thing where it's like, hey, I guess we're just gonna go over here and have like a weird date in the middle of things. Like, what? The fate of the world, you guys? Remember all of the stakes? They were so high. Stakes are so high, and you're just like, yeah, but we're just gonna chill out in this bar for a little bit? What, why? And yeah, it definitely, Kujin, it felt like if Evil Dead had a giant budget and wizards and monsters, and it was good. It felt good. Other than, again, my main problem with the 4King, with the HDing of everything. It's nice to see things nice and clear sometimes, but there's a lot of things you just can't get away with anymore. A lot of your special effects are ruined. You know, when it was that quote, when all of your wishes are granted, many of your dreams will be destroyed. So, you know, we can have all the CG, we can have like everything looks pristine, but if everyone's gonna be wearing wigs, hey, wig. Can I just stop and watch the movie? Nope. Gotta be like, that looks weird. Hey, wig head, looking weird in your wig head, but it fits, it's right, it's what it should be. But you're all wearing wigs, you're all wearing crazy wigs. And this is the future when wigs like look real. So if the quality of the video was a little more NTSC, that's what it used to be called, right? Instead of HD, then those wigs would look so real. They would look so real. But beginning to end, fun, funny, exciting, zombies and dead bodies. It was aces. It was aces. If your hand needs aces to win, that's what I do. He made, in Spider-Man, when Peter Parker, when Tobey Maguire's on the ground getting hit with like backpacks and stuff, that's Sam Raimi. He's the one hitting him. That's his whole thing. I want to make movies so I can hit famous people with things. So Bruce Campbell's whole sequences is just like, this is 100% Evil Dead. This could not be any more or any less of an Evil Dead reference, and I'm fine with it. I am completely fine with the third Olsen twin, Elizabeth Olsen. There, she just keeps getting better and better at being the Scarlet Witch. I will say that I watched the series Scarlet Witch. First 4 episodes, I'm just like, no. Skip. I don't want to watch you guys make a fake TV show. I get that it's going to lead to something, and if I didn't think it was going to lead to something, I wouldn't watch it. But once it got into the actual show of, like, you know, figuring out what's going on and the superhero stuff instead of pretending to be old-timey sitcoms, it was awesome. It was so good, and I loved it, and all the characters were great. But watching the pretend stuff, I'm like, no, I can't take a whole 40 minutes or 20 minutes or whatever this is of just fake campiness. I just can't. Wait, you just skip ahead until Monica Rambeau's daughter? Or no, is Monica Rambeau the daughter? Or was she the mom? Anyway, once she is like, whoa, it's me, I'm in the show now, then we start getting somewhere, and it's amazing. I know I cleaned that one up. That was weird. Where did it disappear to? Oh, the clean layer. Oh, it's down here. That's why. All right. That's another page done that I thought wasn't done. Anyway, finally, before I take off, what was my other thing that I desperately wanted to talk about? Oh, yes. Smashed avocado. I don't eat avocados. I'm sure we've mentioned this before. Avocado shake is all about avocados. I am not. It looks disgusting. Sometimes, yes, in my sushi, I believe there is avocado, and I'm fine with it there. But sushi is mostly about a vehicle to eat soy sauce. But hide the text. But every time, I thought I cleaned this one up too. Is this one? Okay, yeah. Alright, maybe I don't have as many to clean up as I thought. I thought there was a bunch. Oh, there's one. But yeah, I keep seeing the signs that say smashed avocado, and I have decided in my own head that one of those words is unnecessary. Maybe it's because I keep seeing those ads that are just like, hey, check out this sentence, get rid of the unnecessary words. No, I'm not in grade 4 anymore. No, this is a stupid game to play. No. But when I go into the world and I see the sign that says, now with smashed avocado, get it with smashed avocado. You can just say avocado. I very rarely ever see avocado in a unsmashed state. Even when it's in little slices in my sushi, it's still basically smashed avocado. You can't really slice it. It's just a mushy mush that gets more mushier and gross the more it exists. So the idea is like, hey, do you want some smashed avocado on your sandwich? Just how else would you put it on there? And even if you put it on in like little slices, as soon as I start to eat it, as soon as I pick up whatever sandwich or whatever it's on, it's going to very quickly become smashed avocado because it doesn't exist in a non-smashed state. That your 10-minute stand-up chunk on smashed avocado. You're gonna do a whole tour. Hey, come on down to the smashed avocado tour. We'll all spend an hour and a half talking about all of my complaints about how avocado is just unnecessarily added to the word smashed. And you can even just, nobody even said mashed avocado or just creamed avocado or just spreadable avocado. It's smashed. It's the only thing that's smashed besides, if you're passing or smashing on things, the internet, as people do sometimes. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. That depends. I don't know tea, and I don't know chai. Is chai not a flavor of tea, or is it just? Is that like saying tea? Because like iced tea makes sense, because it's like, oh, tea is normally hot. And it's like saying hot tea makes sense because sometimes there's iced tea. Earl Grey tea. There is still at least a difference in there somewhere. But avocado, you're either just giving me a whole avocado that's still in the skin, which I don't know, I'm just gonna throw it. Or it's not in the skin, in which case, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be mashed in some way. Good example, cheese. Add cheese. It doesn't say add sliced cheese, add shredded cheese, add white cheddar cheese, add I don't know, a brick of cheese. You could just say the word cheese and people are just like, I'm on board. I don't care what kind of cheese, I don't care. We're always on board for cheese. I'm lactose intolerant, but I am still on board. Is it lactose-free cheese? Because it doesn't matter. It still binds you up in the same way. So that's what I thought. I thought chai fits with a designation. But we get away. You can still even then just go like, would you like some tea? And if you love tea, you're gonna be like, yeah, of course I'll have some tea. You're not gonna serve me the worst tea probably. Or then you offer up some sort of like, oh, how would you like your tea? Hot? Iced? Chai? Earl Grey is all I know? 'Cause Star Trek. Computer. Tea. Earl Grey. Hot. Beverly. Tea. Earl Grey. Hot. Wesley. Get off my bench. And see, in a lot of cases, some words just become the thing. It's like, again, it's that Dragonheart thing, where it's just like, whatever, like, oh, you humans. No, How does Sean Connery sound again? He should be the easiest. How clever. No, I just keep going back to, that's my, my terrible Patrick Stewart. I'm a dragon, and you'll name me Draco. Just name me Strax. Nope, can't think of it. It's not locking into my brain. But it's in there somewhere. Hachi, Tachi, Chati. Gotta figure which right for me. Do I need to be in the park getting exercise? Or do I want something hot poured in my eyes? Have a good night, Space Goonie. Yeah, I'm just gonna do another panel here, I think. Then I'm gonna get out of here. Oh, actually, before you go, one last crazy thing that I did. In response to somebody else being crazy. I was at the pita pit getting one of their $90 pitas, because everything's $1 million now. And this dude was there, and he was like getting angry, because he's like, I need my money back, because like I paid on the app or whatever, and then somebody, you know, whoever I sent to pick it up, they paid cash. Like, so what's going on? Like, give me my money. And the guy's like giving back the money. So you just named me Dragon in another tongue. English. And he's getting loud and he's getting angry. And I'm just done with that. I'm just done with that. I'm not Spider-Manning around. I'm not gonna cause trouble. But sometimes I need to cause a little bit of trouble. Sometimes I do have, you know, the ghost of my dad just being like, come on, buddy. You're gonna let this guy get away with this? And I'm like, I don't want to get in trouble. And he's like, buddy, sometimes you gotta get in trouble to do the right thing. And I'm just like, but there's nothing. So this guy was like freaking out at the people, and I love the people at the pita pit. They're like, it's like my favorite place to go, and everybody there is always so nice, and they only deserve to be treated nicely. They got a lot of orders coming and going. So this guy is basically complaining that he accidentally paid twice. And in my head, I'm just like, it sounds like your mistake. You clearly had the opportunity to not pay twice, and you did. And now he's going on like, my time is worth money, so I had to come back down here to get my money back or whatever. Like, all right, like, fine. He's clearly, he apologized. He's getting you your money, and it's still clearly your fault. So as he's walking away, he's getting louder and louder so they can hear him, even though it's pita pit. It's the size of this office. So as he's passing me, he's still just yelling like, this is unacceptable. This is no way to run a business. Ah, you guys. And it's just like, oh, you want to say something racist so bad, you idiot white guy. And I can just tell he's just like, yeah, if you were, and he just kind of keeps cutting himself off with just saying something. And I'm just like, you absolutely are trying not to tell these people to like go back to their own country or whatever it is. And he's still just yelling things about how these people are garbage. So I don't actually do anything to help the situation. I only give myself a chance to get punched in the face. Seriously, what's wrong with you? Like, what is wrong with you? How come you haven't given me a new mug or a new hat in the longest time? We're not talking about you. So, as he walks by, towards the front door, there's like two people by the front door, like waiting, like getting served their sandwiches. Somebody else is standing there. Somebody else is ahead of me in line, waiting to go where this guy was. And he passes by me, and he's just saying terrible things. And instead of like in my head, oh, zombie, in my head, I'm like, oh. So again, I said this earlier in the stream, but it's just like, you're perfect at your job all day. You make no mistakes, and your time is so valuable that you can be here. Because if your time is so valuable, then I don't know, maybe you'd put on some clean clothes and not look like a dirty slob. But you didn't. So your time's not worth that much to you, because your impression to me is that I hate you, and if I had mind powers, your truck would be upside down in a few minutes. But I don't, so good news for both of us. So as he walks by, silently, but deadly. I just follow him out the door with my middle finger. I just follow him out the door with my middle finger so that everybody else can see except him. I don't know. It's like this is all I can do. I'm not gonna yell at this guy. I'm not gonna, voice reason, because he's not up for reason. He's just gonna scream. That's what he's doing. So yeah, that's my thing that I do sometimes, and I really have to stop doing it when I'm in the car, because somebody is gonna murder me in the car one of these days. But people do crazy things in the car, and it's just that's how I was raised. It's just instinct to the birds are always ready to fly, guys. They're always ready to fly. That is all. Go to bed, Space Goonie. Go to bed. Normally I have at least one good Spider-Man, friendly neighborhood good deed for the week, but this week it was just like, hey, it hurts me to stand here to wait for this pita, because sometimes your hernia pops out, and you don't mind be the weirdo that's like, let me just push this back in public, and this isn't weird, huh? And also it feels gross, and I just want to lay down and die when I do it. But, as I say that, my good-ish deed was, one, discovering that the restaurant just on the next block, like right there, so close. I was walking around, I'm like, oh, I really want to get some breakfast, but I just don't want to stop anywhere. I just want to go home. And I'm like, hey, I wonder if this place has breakfast. They seem to have a big sign that says, hey, we're brunching, coming in for brunch. We got a brunch special. And on the brunch special was like, hey, get this whole big delicious breakfast for $3.95. Like, that's not possible anymore. Food is at minimum $14. I saw somebody posting that Cheese Whiz is like $14. And I'm like, good thing I don't buy cheese for the most part, or milks or anything like that anymore. And now plant-based meats have become significantly cheaper than meat-based meats. So I'm like, hey, I'm kind of winning. But also, I'm going to go to McDonald's and get a pile of McNuggets. Oh, man. So I go over there for breakfast, and it's like $3 for the breakfast plus a drink or whatever. But I'm like, I hope a 7-Up or a Sprite counts, because I'm not drinking at 10:30 or 11 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday. Anyway, I sit on the deck, and there's a lady sitting like 2 tables away, and she's like, hey, good morning. I'm like, hey, good morning. And then her friend shows up, and they're like, hey, country music. Yeah, we should go to the country music thing. Oh, we missed the country music. Oh, country music. Hey, what about this thing? Hey, how about that guy dating? Oh, these guys are creep. This guy keeps sliding in my DMs with whatever. And I'm like, stop eavesdropping on other people's lives and just draw a picture of a squirrel. That didn't turn out. I'm just like, I don't know what to draw. So I just tried to draw something furry and fuzzy. But it was going to turn into like a monster, but then I was just like, it's too hot. It's too hot to be drawing outside. But while they were talking about trying to go to a concert, but she's like, but the concert's in Maine, and my passport is trapped in my safe, and I can't find the key to my safe anywhere. And that part was loud. Somebody else showed up, and then they got quiet. They were completely fine with talking full volume for me, but somebody else showed up, and they were like, whoa, we don't want this jerk to know our business. All right, I don't care either way. So she's just, whatever. I want to get my passport out, but I don't know. I don't know what to do. Other than, like, get a saw or something. I don't know. So I finished eating, and on my way out, I stopped at the table and was like, hey, excuse me. Don't want to be, eavesdropping or whatever, but I did. And the only thing I have to say is, if it opens with a key, then a locksmith can probably set it free. And they were like, oh, really? I'm like, I don't really know, but for the most part, that's what locksmiths do. And yeah, if it's got a key, then they can open it up. It was like, or, if you or somebody in your life really enjoys using or has like a Sawzall or a crazy drill, then yeah, drill it out or do whatever. I don't know how sturdy your safe is, you know, you could probably just smash it open if it's just one of these ones from like Walmart or whatever. But if you don't want to risk chopping apart whatever valuables are inside there, then yeah, I'm pretty sure for some fee, a locksmith will have you covered. And she was like, oh wow, like thanks, I didn't even think about that. I was like, yep. Just popped into my head, as you said, something about chopping it open there. And then I just pictured my brother, like, trying to get into stuff and using all of his tools and just thinking, he should just call a locksmith. Like, wait, these people should call a locksmith because they're really doing it here and I'm just imagining how my brother would handle it. I should just tell them that. And I managed to walk away from that interaction without feeling like a creep. Oh, this frame is like almost already clean. Anyway, it's almost 9 o'clock. I've told all my stories for the week. Sure, I've got some other stuff floating around in my head, but either way, I'll be back next Tuesday, I think. I don't know. I still don't have a new appointment for my surgery yet, so I have no idea. Last Tuesday, I was just exhausted. I took the day off from not sleeping and waiting for everything and just feeling crazy. So I'm just like, I'm not doing anything ever again. And mostly, I literally just wanted to talk about Rescue Rangers today and a little stop motion guy. But that's it for this Tuesday. But yeah, I assume I'll do it again next Tuesday. I'll perhaps move the Nintendo back in here and do some more game streams. But right now I put everything in the living room because I'm supposed to be just laying around. I'm supposed to be just laying around for way too much time. And then of course, if you want free stuff, keep an eye on the Streamlabs Twitter page. Follow them, and when they do giveaways, I just make free art for people, and it's fun. Super fun. And then I do a little marathon stream to do that. And other than that, that's everything. Someday I'll figure out how to get this light to just stay balanced, not drift back and forth between red and white. But whatever, who cares? I think that's all. What about you? No, I don't think I have anything else to say. But, you know, this stream is all about me. I will be back next Tuesday, come rain or shine. You know, I'll be telling my stories, giving my hilarious takes on the latest movies and things on the Disney Channel. And, you know, whether you're here or not, I'll just take care of that. That's not how anything works. Yeah, everybody get some sleep. Maybe I'll figure out how to keep this table from being so easily vibrated. So the camera doesn't bounce. And, yeah, keep making your things, whether they're big or miniature. So you're just tired now, out of words? You're just, this is you used up all the words? And you're just too tired to say anything anymore? I mean, yeah, basically. I still did a whole work day. I did a bunch of designs today. Did stuff for Matt and for random people on the internet. Meta words. Never get those robot faces. Anyway, Susan and Pat and Space Goonie and Kujin, if you're still around, and of course Miles. Everybody have a good week, a good night, and I don't know, something. Miles. That rhymes with Miles. That is unnecessary. Meow, 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 meow. Well, then just roll the credits then. If you're in charge, then end it. All right, just go for it. Just go for it. I'm not trying to start a fight. I'm trying to end one. All right, that is uncalled for.
Hey, bros, remember, we could all just go surfing at any point in time, guys. We could just go surfing and have a great time, right? Surfing?
We're never going surfing, Ted. We're not going surfing now. Nobody's surfing now. There is no surf safari. Yes, credits, please. End. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night. Why can't I end a night? No, when's the beat gonna drop? Can't end a night without having a fight with things that aren't there. Put your hands up like you don't care. Atlantis Morissette, etc. Hair.